When it comes to high school surfing, there's no better team than the San Clemente Tritons. Year in and year out, they rack up championships on both the state and national level. Today on Coach's Corner, we feature 3 top surfers from the Tritons. This is Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Higgins, and all the action starts right now. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins and welcome to this edition of Coach's Corner on location once again in the city of Mission Viejo at the Shops in Mission Viejo. A great show tonight, as you can tell. It is surfing right here in Southern California. More in particular, San Clemente High School, the reigning 4-time national champion. 3 outstanding surfers you're going to hear from tonight, plus their head coach who has been with the team for 9 years, and we welcome them right now. Connor Dow is a surfer, and of course the coach is John Dow. And John, welcome to Coach's Corner. Yeah. And I know this is something new for you guys, but we've been hearing so much about the San Clemente surf team over the years. We finally had to catch up with you. 4-time national champion. How do you keep doing it over and over?
You know, it's the history of San Clemente. It just continues to produce those young kids that just keep backfilling the program. It's the different breaks around town that really kind of create an environment that is such that they're competitive, and these kids want to win and they want to continue that tradition.
Yeah, I mean, there is so much going on in the world of surfing right now, but we'll kind of narrow it down. And Connor, you were telling me you're a sophomore, been surfing for 9 years. Your dad and your brother both surf, and I know you surf with Coach all the time. Yeah. And you and I were just talking about that your perfect size wave for you that you really enjoy is a 5-foot wave. Yeah. But you can surf big, you can surf smaller than that. What is it about surfing that draws you in and sucks you up, and if you could right now, you'd be surfing?
Just everything about it, just the water, the waves, like the sun, just being outside and just surfing, it's just fun.
How often do you get the opportunity to surf, and how do you kind of juggle that with your school and what you actually want to do in the future in this sport?
Well, I mainly focus on school, and whenever I have like free time, I can go surf, which I do most of the time. Yeah.
Coach, I know that this is probably a 7-day-a-week job sometimes for you. I mean, you teach health at San Clemente. You've been doing that for 9 years, full-time teacher. Obviously, you love surfing. How do you choose who gets on the team and who doesn't? Because probably some of the guys that don't could go over somewhere else and compete against you.
It's a highly, highly competitive tryout. We're running them right now, actually in the morning. So there's a lot that goes into the tryout. There's a lot. I bring in ex-alumni, older people, professional surfers, and take all their opinions and all their kind of knowledge of what the kids are doing and take that all into account and create the team every year. These first couple weeks of September are some of the best, but some of the most difficult in my whole entire year, just because of that.
When is the surf season? I know the winter's time and the waves get a little bit bigger around Southern California, water a little colder, a little bit different environment, but when is the surf season for you?
Our surf season it starts in October and runs through the end of November. Our league season that we compete against Dana Hills, Laguna Beach, Capo Valley, all of those schools. And then we take the Christmas time off, and then we come back, and state championships are in March, and then nationals are in June. Okay. And then summers are off. And the kids kind of do their own thing during the summer, and they're probably surfing more in the summer than they do in the school year, but it's a time off for them.
Connor, when you're out there in a competition, I know some surfers go out and surf and they never compete, and some of those surfers could be the greatest competitors if they had that mind to do that. As a surfer, and hopefully maybe you'll be a professional surfer, and congratulations on your sponsorship with Globe. I want to make sure we mention that. But you have to have a competitive frame of mind. Tell me about that in the water.
Well, yeah, free surfing is definitely way different than competitive surfing. You really have to be focused and like select the right waves and just know what you're doing while you're on the water in the heat. And free surfing, you're just having fun and surfing with your friends.
What I'm amazed about in the sport of surfing is how when you don't think things can change technology-wise with a surfboard, it changes. And the boards are much lighter now. They're back to being super small. Your thoughts about the development of the surfboard, and can you give us any insight to what you ride?
I ride like a 5'9". It's a little bit shorter than me. I'm like 6'1", so a couple inches shorter. And yeah, Like, they used to be really long. I like how they shortened it up, and definitely like flows better, and yeah.
Coach, it also amazes me the amount of tricks that can be done on a surfboard. It used to be you just surfed. Now you're doing tricks. It used to be maneuvers. Now you're out of the water. And where is it going? I mean, where can this propel to?
The aerial antics that these guys are pulling is above and beyond. I mean, I watched Connor yesterday just destroy a wave and do, I think, 2 air reverses on one wave, and you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, you're 16 years old and you're doing this. I just think the sky's the limit. These kids are pushing it, and every time you think that they're done, they're grabbing somewhere else, or they're going higher, or they're just doing it in a different part of the wave, in a more critical part. I think a lot of it has to do with they all went down to the Hurley Pro. They all watched those guys surf and really see what they're doing, and that goes a long way because they start to try and achieve that goal, and they see where they need to get to, and that's been a big benefit for our program, having a lot of our alumni come back, like Pat Godoskis and those kind of boys, helping to push our next level.
When you talk about the progression of surfing and you go down to the Hurley Pro or you go down to the US Open in Huntington Beach, which is a totally different wave than in San Clemente, but what is inspiring those guys at that level? You know, is it sport of skateboarding? What is it that's allowing those tricks to trickle down into the sport of surfing?
I think it's just like everyone just pushing each other, and them just the judging getting harder and harder every year, and they're just, I don't know.
Having to think outside the box a little bit. And those guys joke that they're being pushed by the younger kids. They're watching, like yesterday we surfed with Kalohe Andino, Nate Yeomans, Chris Ward, all those boys were out, and they're all going blow for blow. You know, like Connor's teaching them how to do something, and they're showing him how to do something, and that back and forth really is up the progression.
That's amazing. Before I let you go, what is your ultimate goal in surfing?
Definitely just to go as far as I can, see if I can come professional, make the WCT. That'd be awesome.
Well, I hope you do, because I could say that I had you on my show. So congratulations. Connor is a sophomore at San Clemente High School, part of that 4-time reigning national championship. They have won 5 NSSA national championships, 6 is state championships, and that's all under this young man's reign. So he's doing something right at San Clemente High School. We'll be back with more of surfing right here on Coach's Corner at the Shops in Mission Viejo. Mission Basilica School, located in historic San Juan Capistrano, is a blue ribbon school focused not only on quality education but spiritual enlightenment, creating a learning environment that's second to none.
I love the feel of the school and what it brings.
They're wonderful kids, have great family lives. They are brothers and sisters once they reach the campus.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins, and welcome back to this edition of Coach's Corner, once again on location at the Shops in Mission Viejo, and we certainly appreciate all their support. Talking about surfing with the San Clemente High School surf team. You might have read about them, you might have seen them on the internet. Well, now you get an opportunity to see them right here on Coach's Corner. John Dow has done a great job with the team, so once again, congratulations on that. You yet bring another great surfer with you who has that skateboarding kind of influence in the background. And Colin Dow, you're a junior at San Clemente, 15 years old. What do you like about this sport?
It's just like a lot of fun. I'm stoked I get to do it every day, so it's pretty sick.
How has skateboarding influenced your tricks or your maneuvers in the water? Because I heard you're pretty good in the air.
I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. So I started skating first, so I guess it kind of helped, like doing airs and stuff, surfing. So.
What kind of skateboarding do you like? Do you like street skating, or do you like pools or parks?
I guess skating like parks and stuff, but I like appreciate street more just because of how hard it is. Just know how good they are at it.
It's super technical too, right? So Coach, we talk about the maneuvers in surfing and some of the skateboarding influence. When you guys are judging, because I know you've judged plenty. Yes. I know that we talk about creativity, style, difficulty of tricks, wave selection. What are those elements, and how do those break up into a really good ride?
You know, it breaks down. There's a power aspect to it. There's a flow aspect to it. It's how where you're doing those turns, you know? Like these kids all can do an air, but are they doing it on the shoulder? Or are they doing it in the critical part of the wave? A lot of it has to do with that flow and how beautiful it truly does look while they're surfing. We were joking this morning that we could take people that had never surfed before, put them on a judging panel, and they could probably still get the same result. Just because when it looks good to the eye and it's pleasing, it's oftentimes that's the score, that's the wave, that's what they're looking to do.
How important, Colin, is style to you? I mean, surfing is all, to me, it's really, you go back to the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, it's a lot of style involved. How important is it to you?
It's probably like one of the most important things, like to be honest. It's like if you see somebody and it just looks weird, you're not gonna want to watch them.
Right.
Like, so it's probably like.
Do you think that the normal person can visualize that with you? Because I know when, you know, I've called a ton of skateboarding contests, and I know right when I see a guy drop in, I go, that guy's got great style. Do you think the general public gets that?
I'm not sure if they do, because like you kind of have to know like what looks good and what you're supposed to do on it, and like because like they're not going to know.
Yeah. Do you consider this surfing a sport, or do you consider it a lifestyle? Can you talk to me about that? Because some professional athletes, do you consider yourself an athlete also?
I mean, in some ways it's kind of a sport, but I think it's more of like a lifestyle. It's like more than a sport almost, so it's kind of like special.
Do you think you're a surfer before you're an athlete? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think you're definitely a surfer before you're an athlete, because you can choose to be an athlete and do all the training and stuff and try to be the best you can be, but at the end of the day, it's like you're a surfer. It's like a lifestyle.
Right. Coach, I ask that because there is so much instruction, so much, you know, people out there trying to train people in this sport or that sport, and I could see that probably the professional surfers on the tour, they probably have nutritionalists and they have yoga instructors and they have this and that. So that's why I ask about this being a sport, or is it a lifestyle? Obviously, these guys are great athletes.
Incredible athletes. I always joke they're probably some of the best athletes on our campus. These other coaches, football, baseball, they're looking to pull oftentimes my surfers because they truly are just genuine athletes, all around incredible. To be able to do what they're doing in an environment that's constantly moving and changing is just phenomenal. These guys look at it as a lifestyle, and they just they take it for granted how good they truly are and the style that they put into it, but they are the elite of the elite athletes for sure.
Colin, Coach just brings up a great thing. You've never surfed the same wave twice. And you have a moving background, and you have a moving, like a vert ramp, you know it's going to stay the same. If you've got a handrail and you're going down that, it's not going to move. Underneath you is moving all the time. How fascinating is that for you as a surfer, knowing that this wave's going to be different than the other wave?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because like you're never really like always like prepared. You just kind of like do what like you're given with. So it's pretty like interesting.
Does anything scare you about surfing?
Yeah, I mean like huge tsunami waves are like pretty scary. Like people have
over
died.
4 foot's big for me, so. Coach, I know that you can't teach someone not to be fearful of a wave, but in all honesty, it is appreciation to be a little bit fearful. You got to have some common sense.
Definitely. The ocean at 1 foot to 10 feet can knock you on your butt. Yeah. Even those smallest days truly are, there's always a changing element to that ocean, and the fear is there. I think if the fear wasn't there, I'd be more worried. And as they go out, and these guys love to be in big surf, and because it gets that adrenaline going, it gets that engine going, and they truly do enjoy it. We just don't oftentimes get the opportunity as much around here.
Colin, how long have you been surfing now?
Probably like 10 years.
10 years. What advice would you have for a young surfer, little grommet that's going to come up and try to follow in your footsteps?
Just like have fun doing it, because like if you're not having fun, then like you're probably gonna not want to do it. So
Coach, that's about the best answer you can ask for.
Yeah, you gotta have fun. If you're not having fun, then yeah, you need to find something else.
Quick question for you. I know what you do is down in San Clemente, obviously, but you probably have, you know, want to get support from the community. Is there anything you want to reach out to? Can I help you with that? Is there, you got anything that we can?
You know, the community itself is amazingly supportive. All the local surfers that allow us to practice in the mornings, you know, and when those guys want to be surfing and then going to work, they allow our kids to be down there. In the past, we've had great support, you know, from Samba's on to we've had Hurley in the past that have really stepped up and supported the program. And this past year with the Oakley event that we had in Newport, you know, Oakley, we won a significant amount of money. So that's going a long way to supporting the program and the kids, and really takes a burden off, because the amount of money that these kids are spending on surfboards and wetsuits, yes, they are sponsored, yes, they do get product, but they're not getting free surfboards all the time, and they need a lot. They just don't, one surfboard doesn't cut it. They're, right, you know, multiple surfboards and constantly changing and growing. I think Colin's grown probably 6 inches in the last 6 months, you know. So
a lot of wetsuits, aren't you?
Yeah, a lot of wetsuits, a lot of boards. I mean, he's lucky that Rip Curl allows him to get wetsuits, but it's the surfboards that he's got to keep up with.
Well, Colin, good luck to you, and fascinating watching you surf, and I know you're going to have a great career. And again, congratulations for being part of a really, really successful surf team. We'll be back with yet another surfer from San Clemente High School, that and more, right here on Coach's Corner. Mission Basilica School is a Catholic parochial school with single-grade classrooms from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade.
We have absolutely the best to offer in education. We don't just educate the child academically. They are nurtured spiritually. They are guided through their spiritual journey. They are loved, every being of them.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano, Mission Basilica School. Hello everybody, welcome back to this edition of Coach's Corner, on location here at the shops in Mission Viejo. The sport of surfing reigning really big time at San Clemente High School. They have been the national champions 5 times, the state champions 6 times, all under the tutelage of their head coach, Connor Dow. And he has brought us 2 outstanding surfers that we've already talked about, now yet a 3rd surfer. And if you've been down in San Clemente and you needed some help in the water, he might have swam out there and picked you up. And this is, of course, Colton Overend. He's also a lifeguard in the city of San Clemente. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're a senior at San Clemente. You look like you could be a senior in college.
Yeah, I've been told so with my height, you know, just appearance.
Yeah, now you have an opportunity to do something not very many kids ever get to do, is be a 4-time national champion in a sport in high school.
Yeah. It's a great experience, definitely. I mean, to just be with all of my friends and be able to accomplish something that not many people get to, especially along here with our coach that's been with us every step of the way. It's been awesome.
And Coach, you said he can surf. He's one of those guys that can surf just about anything.
Yeah, you could put him on a door and he'd probably look good on it.
Yeah, I tried to.
I got a door at home. You can.
Got a couple.
Might be a little heavy.
Yeah.
But Coach, when you look at kind of style that he brings to the water, what is that? Because we talked about style with your 2 buddies on your surf team already, but what kind of style does he bring?
You know, Colton brings such a confidence and a leadership out in the water. Every time he's up on a wave, every time he's surfing, the whole lineup is paying attention. He kind of has that air about himself out in the water, and it's just that confidence. When you put your feet in the wax and you start pumping down the line, you can just tell that he's going to do something pretty incredible because of that confidence, and that comes from his head, and that comes from his background and just being in the ocean and knowing that he's been in a lot of those situations before.
You obviously have a great appreciation for the ocean, and I'm sure that, you know, I tell my son, my oldest son's 13, and I say, PJ, look at the ocean, look at what it's doing before you go out. I don't see it quite like you see it. How do you see it when you look at the water and you know there's some riptides here, or you know when the sets are coming in? Can you explain that and break that down for the basic surfer?
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up around the ocean, so what something is in the ocean to me isn't what it is to someone else that hasn't been around the ocean their entire life. And coming from a lifeguard's point of view, that's along with, he is also a lifeguard, Connor Dow. And
you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, but you know, being a lifeguard, it really changes your view of how people are in the water, and when you see someone that's in trouble and actually needs your help, it really makes your mindset just switch from this is all about fun. You know, you figure out that it is a dangerous place, and without, you know, the proper precautions, it's definitely a place that can take you down.
Do you ever go home and tell, hey, Mom and Dad, I saved the lives of 4 people today. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to say that in my lifetime. You do it all the time, and you really do save their life.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cool experience to know that you made a difference in someone's life, and without you being there, then that person wouldn't be back at home with their family, or, you know, the kids wouldn't be back with their parents, you know, going to their soccer games or whatever else they do. And it's an awesome thing to see.
Yeah. Coach, that is such a fantastic thing for him to say. And I wouldn't know how to react to that if I was in your situation, but you're trained for that.
Yeah.
And Coach, you do a great job, and you do train these athletes. I know you're not just sitting on the beach watching them, drinking a cup of coffee. I mean, you're out there in the water with them. I'm sure you're talking to them. How do you coach up surfers?
You know, a lot of it is their head game, the mental preparation. They've been in the ocean, and these kids that we've heard have been in the water for years and years and years. And it's that experience, and it's knowing what a wave possibly could do. And oftentimes it's talking to them, and it's getting their head right, and it's pulling their brain out of their head sometimes and saying, just go out and surf, let the natural talent take over. But a lot of it, you know, is style. You got to put that hand down. You got to make sure that you're making the turn in the right spot on the wave, and all of that. And it's those little cues that definitely pay big dividends. Because like I said, they are incredible athletes, and they can make those tiny adjustments on their own with just a little bit of knowledge.
Not to go too far off target, but you know, over the summer I had the opportunity to watch with my sons Chasing Mavericks, and my daughter and my wife, and what a great appreciation that young man had for the water. When you yourself look at a film like that, what's your thought process? Do you put yourself in his situation at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't specifically seen the movie, but I have heard about it, and I know what the general theme of the story is. And I mean, I've been to Hawaii, you know, been in big surf, multiple places, Northern California, and it definitely, when you get worked on a wave and when you get held under and you don't think you're going to come up, it definitely, you really appreciate when you do come back up.
I threw you a slider there on that, but Coach, did you happen to see the movie by chance?
I have, yes. One of our alumni was a star in that movie, Greg Long.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. I mean, and of all things, he dives to free diving, and I've covered that sport. But you know, God wanted him obviously, and he went where he wanted to in the ocean. What's your reaction because surf movies are so popular, you know, in the mainstream? When you see something like that, what's your thought process? And
I thought they did an amazing job. Oftentimes surfing gets portrayed as, you know, the Spicoli. These kids are not going to school, not paying attention, just the kind of in the back screwing around. Right. And that's an image that maybe necessarily isn't the best. Yeah. And every day I think we fight it continually. You know, our GPA on our team is incredibly high, in the mid 3.2s. Yeah. And our kids are extremely smart, but yet we're still dealing with that stigma and that stereotype. Chasing Mavericks did a great job at portraying the surf culture, the surf community. I know they worked hard behind the scenes to make sure that happened. Right. There was a lot that went into that production to make it as real as possible. Wow. and to make sure that they got it right.
It's amazing. You've gotten it right so many times. You know, again, I have to mention this. In 9 years, 5-time national champion at San Clemente High School, 6-time state champion with the surfing team, handful of pros that have gone on into this sport, and probably many more to follow as they continue. Coach, I congratulate you on all your success, and you've done a great job, and these kids really well-spoken, good young men, and thank you for all the things that you do at San Clemente as a lifeguard. And also, man, senior, last time, 3 years, a national championship, has an opportunity to win his 4th, and that's Colton Overend. Congratulations, good luck on the 4th one. All right, for Coach's Corner and for San Clemente Surf Team, I'm Paul Higgins. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.